Well, obviously tough night for the Tigers. Congrats to Georgia Tech. I thought they played very well. Nathan George was terrific in the game, and offensively, I thought we were okay, just okay in the first half. Defensively, probably just okay. I thought we tried to be a little better in the second, but it's almost like we got a little bit trying too hard. It's really the first time all year you could kind of sense our guys tightening up a little bit, and we just didn't execute and finish some things offensively. Certainly a major factor in the game. It's 2 or 3 times now Viktor fouls out playing 15 minutes in a 55-minute game. We're not built to withstand that. Ian's playing at the end of the game with a cramp, and we're too small, and so 24 offensive rebounds is a problem, and it probably cost us the game. So, obviously very disappointed because we had chances to win, need to do a better job. Late maybe it's crazy, but I feel like we had 3 open shots in the last end of games. Obviously not the last part of the game or the triple overtime one, but the other ones, and we just didn't make them. And we needed to stop in one of the, I don't even know, first overtime or regulation, I don't remember. They finished one at their buzzer, so it just felt like we just couldn't finish the game. And ultimately, when you don't do that and you let a team hang around, they're going to make some plays, and they beat us. So, questions for me?
Coach, I think it was at the end of the first overtime. You had the last shot, about 15 seconds left. You had a couple timeouts.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. You guys ask me about that all the time. I'm not a huge timeout guy when we got our best player with the ball, and obviously when it doesn't work, maybe we should have called a timeout. But we're going to end up doing the same thing. We're going to screen and get him the ball, and he's not going to shoot off a double screen or anything like that. He's just going to make a play. But he made a lot of plays tonight, but he did have some chances to win the game tonight, and he couldn't quite get it done. It happens.
You mentioned you want your best players to have the ball, I guess. Do you like that his shot attempt is a three-pointer, or would you rather him
I think it's when he misses the 3, you want him to drive, right? When he drives it in on the triple overtime game, at the end he tried to drive, right? Then you want him to shoot. So, it's hard, right? That's you're trusting your best player. The guy's made a million plays for us. He made a million plays in the game to get us to those points. He just didn't make the final one. And, Dylan had a wide open one. Maybe that was if he makes that. Is that the one that they tipped in off the transition? That would have been the dagger that would have won it. Jake had a crazy turnover when Chase is wide open. It's like we got him, we move him, and then we got a wide open shot, and they still lay it in right late in one of the overtimes or regulation. So we just had a couple tough plays that didn't go our way, and then obviously we couldn't rebound. Just couldn't rebound the ball. So credit to Georgia Tech.
Coach Stoudemire said at the end of the third overtime, 3.2 seconds left, he actually wanted to foul you guys. Were you expecting that?
Yeah, we thought they probably would. I told Chase if it, we were going to advance it and call timeout, unless something crazy happened and Chase felt like he could. But basically, we were going to throw it to half court and call timeout. But, I'd talked about if a guy – the scary thing with that now these days is kids have gotten really good at putting the ball down and starting to go up, and now you're leaving it up to officials, and it's a scary proposition. But we anticipated them fouling.
You mentioned Ian's cramp. It was a cramp.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's had a little bit of that, a couple games and some practices. He was trying to gut it out. He's a warrior. Obviously, he had a lot to do out there at the end. We needed to give him a little more help.
Is his back still bothering him too?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a wounded soldier.
I guess for Viktor, his foul trouble, is it just him getting too active with his hands?
I got to watch tonight. I really do. I was surprised. I didn't realize he had 3 as fast as he did. I knew he had 2, but I didn't know he had 3. And then the last one was not a good one. It was just that was too much for us to overcome.
You're one of just having that experience, you know, in case.
I don't know. And apparently not, because we didn't win today.
What do you say to the guys after such a tough game like that, especially heading into what probably is the biggest game of the year this weekend?
You know, a little bit. We had some chances. We didn't play well enough to win. You know, and then I've talked about defensive rebounding has been a problem for us a little bit at times in the year, and that we had talked about it. We kept talking about it at every timeout and halftime, and ultimately I've told the guys that it's going to cost us a game, and it cost us a game. And, you know, team just I know we almost played, you know, whatever, game and a half, but 24 offensive rebounds, it's hard to overcome.
You guys started out after the first half leading in rebounds, but that kind of dipped down heading into
Victor didn't play much.
overtime. Was that
Yeah, I think that was, and then it's hard, you know, we didn't, you know, Miles and Christian just haven't played enough to where we feel comfortable, like throwing them in there. And maybe I should have. Christian got 7 rebounds. Maybe I should have thrown Christian in there. Now we have to change some things offensively, and it's hard. I wish he'd have a little more experience to feel comfortable with that. But yeah, that was a big part of it, because now Wiggins is playing the 4 and we're smaller at the 3. They're playing Duncan Powell at the 3, who's bigger. So we're mismatched at a couple positions, and ultimately it wears you out. You know, it wasn't. Yeah, we still had chances. We just didn't get it done.
Speaking of which, I know you haven't really gotten into the weeds on Duke, but
Yeah.
team 1 through 5.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Duke tonight. We're not focused on Duke. Haven't been focused on Duke. We'll get to Duke tomorrow at some point, but tonight was us not getting the job done.
Any update on Del Jones?
You know, he hurt his Achilles in practice, and he just couldn't go.
Any more questions for Coach?
Well, the long minutes for triple overtime game for the team, I guess, for preparation leading up to the Duke game, will that change you guys in practice?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait and see. I got to get with our trainer, you know, and see how everybody is after the game. You sometimes get surprised by a few things. You know, obviously the good news is we're off tomorrow, so the guys will come in and get a bunch of treatment. But there's no practice, there's no film, there's nothing. It's their day. But Thursday we'll get back at it. Okay. Thank you, guys.